Welcome to another chapter in the Sound Vision instructional video series. My name is Bob Thomas, your host, and in this segment we'll be discussing the 5500 diagnostic access. This will also apply to the HP 2000 as well, so they'll be interchangeable for all intents and purposes. In beginning the process, what we would do is go to the control panel, and to the left side there are two keys that are recessed in finger guards. The right of these two keys would be the test key, and in this case we'd hit the test key. At that point, the system will go into an exchange between the actual scanning modality and the diagnostic modality. It takes about 30 seconds or so, and as we come into the screen, we'll be able to see that it's switching over. We can hear the clicking, all of that is normal, and in about 15 seconds or so, you'll see that the diagnostic screen has come up. The screen is separated into three main segments. In the upper right section of the screen, you will see a listing of possible feature sets that are available with the system, and it will indicate whether that feature set is present or not present. It will also give you the serial number of the system and some basic information as to the configuration. In the lower right-hand corner of the screen, you will see what would be the revision level of the system. In this case, we'd read that as B.2.3. When talking with technical support and/or in some cases the sales division, they would be interested in getting the information of the machine in regards to the revision level and the serial number information. To the left of the screen, you will see a listing of drop-down menus for the actual diagnostics that you would be getting involved in. The topmost is the basic test for the system. Now typically, if we're going to troubleshoot a system that's been giving you some issues, we'd start in this area. What we recommend is if you're running the system for the first time, there are two segments below that. One is runtime error log, and the other is the reset error log. If you were to have an actual error recorded or logged into the system, there would be an asterisk in this field. What we recommend is that if there's an asterisk in the field, go and select that field, and there would be a reporting of whatever error had occurred in the system. If there are a number of errors, you can either print them out on a paper printer, or you can hand copy down whatever the text might be. At this point in time, we would have you to erase the log. It would ask you if you wanted to continue. Yes, I want to continue. And then on conclusion, I would go to the previous menu to take me back to the top of the screen. At this point in time, then I would go and run the basic test, which runs for about 10 or 15 minutes, and it would run the diagnostics through the system and give an indication of any anomalies that are most prevalent. As we've been talking through this segment, I've been navigating through some of the menus already. There are a couple of options in how to activate these menus. You can Welcome to another chapter in the Sound Vision instructional video series. I'm Bob Thomas, your host, and in this segment we will be talking about the HP 5500 diagnostic access. It's also applicable to the HP 2000, so we'll be able to interchange the actual procedure between the two with no problem. In beginning, what we would do is go to the control panel, and in the upper left-hand corner there are two keys recessed between finger guards. The right of these two keys is the test key. We would hit the test key, and at that point the system would start to exchange between the 2D or the regular scanning diagnostic mode into the system diagnostic mode. And you'll see that it'll take about a moment or two for that to happen. And at that point, you'll hear a couple of clicks and bumps, and that's nothing to be concerned about. And in about 15 or 20 seconds or so, it will revert from the scanning mode to the actual diagnostic mode. Now this test menu, or diagnostic menu, is broken into three main segments. The segment in the upper right portion is system information. And you will get the system serial number, various applications or options that are available. It will indicate whether or not that option is actually present or not. In the lower right-hand corner, you will see information about the revision level of the machine. In this case, we'd read this as B.2.3. So when talking with technical support, or in some cases the sales division, then they would be interested in finding out this information so that they could properly support and give you the right guidance, the right parts, everything that would be applicable to this specific machine. To the left is the actual test menu drop-down options. At the top, you'll see where the option to run the basic test exists. If we were having trouble with the system, what we'd want to do is start out running a basic test so the system would be able to do an internal diagnostic and find out if there's anything that's obviously reporting as a problem. Typically what will happen though is before we run this basic test, we will look lower down into the test menu, and there are two areas. One is a runtime error log, and the one on the bottom is a reset error log. If there had been an error logged into the system previously, there would be an asterisk in the corner of that particular selection, and that would be an indication that there's an error. And so before we run the basic test, we'd want to go and select this log and read whatever information was there. In selecting these particular features or functions, there are a couple of ways that you can go about it. You can relocate the cursor with the trackball, and on the control panel hit the enter key, or you'll see that in each entry there is one letter that is highlighted in red. You can simply hit that letter on the keyboard. So if I wanted to look in this error log, I would hit L for log, and it would go into that portion of the software.